Hello everybody, welcome to our 8th surprise room. Surprises in more ways than one. This is our new dance and ballet class room in a box. I think the second surprise is that I got budget dolls, and I'm not a big fan, but you know, I had a $20 budget for all these rooms. These were on sale at the grocery store for $4 each around Christmas time, so I snatched them up and thought I'd have a little fun with them. This will be a spacer room next to Justine's room because she doesn't have her roommate as a doll, so this will fill it in. It will match up to the reading room if Mira and Justine ever got a proper room. I don't have my flash on right now. I'll do that in a little skim through after, so that I wouldn't be blinding you in the eyes. So like I said, it was just a matter of the mirrored paper, which you do have to be careful of where the glue goes for the dimples. I'm gonna have the how-to on the end of this, because most of this is pretty same old except for the ballet bar. So I'm gonna show that right at the end instead of doing a separate video. Quite a simple room, but makes a statement and gives us a really good spacer, which I'm happy about. And if you noticed as well, what these dolls were good for, I had a little fun customizing them and detailing them up a little bit. This is twofold. That it, for one, made them look a whole lot better. And for two, it gave me an opportunity to practice some of the paints and see what would work and what would stay and what would wear off or pick off. So I was doing that as a little bit of practice for later when I do many more custom touch-ups and details as I would like. I did fix up each of their skirts a little bit different, but with bows and, you know, just some little touches, which I think were a good addition. I did not touch their stockings. I still have to show the opening for these and the review with some other dolls, the last of them, and I mentioned in them I thought I was going to paint on the stockings, but I didn't. So they all look pretty much just the same, and good. Once you painted up the ballet stockings, that really made a difference, and just added a little bit more than what they had to make them look better. So they work in here, and the dolls being part of the price made that pretty wonderful too. In terms of their hair, honestly, and I liked their hair and was never going to change it, so I just hot glued that right to their hair, and I used little sticky glue dabs to put the gems and jewels on, so they each have a little similarities in their style, but yet something unique was what I went for. Quick shout out to CC Sprinkles. Thank you, enjoying your comments, and welcome to our channel. I think you've been here for a little while, but you're fairly new. Thank you. Let's see, Miss, I think this was Holly, not Poppy. I get them confused. She's got a bigger hair thing going on there. Fascinating. The timing there, Panda. And more gems and jewels. Oh my goodness. And Apple looks especially sweet. We gave her a whole bunch of jewels. I'm doing this right now on a desk because it's too high to video as well. In the area we have all these, so definitely some cute little additions. And again, that was just all hot glued and stuck in there wherever I could fit it, because I had no intention on changing them. To tell you the truth, it was the buns in their hair that I enjoyed the most. Okay, hope you've enjoyed this quick little tour with not much going on in the room, but just enough to make it pretty awesome to fill some space. Have a wonderful day, evening, or night. Enjoy the run through and the little how-to at the end. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time. All of this and starting off is shown very well on step 3. This is the top of my box, and I decided to hide that extra little flap up near the top. just putting on my ceiling paper, and here is the glue showing how I do that, because I made this ceiling different from the rest of the dorm rooms. Now, again, how to make the door and do all the rest of this stuff very thoroughly is shown in step 3. I'll put a link up atop to show you that. Here again is showing you I'm hiding that flap. This paper is very thin. This was the 19-cent paper, and so I did a lot of glue because I knew what I was going to stick onto it as if it is a cork board, and as well what I may stick on in the future. So I did do an extra lot of glue here. Luckily with that look, it could hide the dimples. I did fold the edge so that when I put the mirrored cardstock on it, it will cover that up and look a little bit better and not have a space. Now looking at my trims I have ready, I don't feel so confident that the hot glue will stick to the mirrored shiny surface on that cardstock, so I've cut a little bit off to equal some of the top and some of the bottom so that I'm for sure to get that stuff very strong touching the cardboard. As well, thinking ahead of when I put the ballet bar on, I did test it. You don't have to do this, but I felt it was better and would help me out, so I took little notches where I knew I was going to attach the ballet bar itself, just to be sure. This part shows a better visual on what I was saying about trimming that cardstock mirror cardstock on the top and bottom, so I do have a little cardboard peeking out in order to give me some solid stick between the trim and the cardboard. Again, maybe not necessary, but I decided to do it. This does dimple with the sticky glue, so I was sure to try and hide that behind my ballet bar so that it would not show and stand out like crazy. I do want to mention that this paper gave me a headache with all the reflections of the light going in it while I was working on it. It was not cool. So here is the little notches, and I've done some good math and measuring to try and get that just right. As I moved along, sometimes I got a little bit of glue, and I would made sure I had a piece of paper towel next to me with a little dampness to it so I could wipe off any mistakes I had. This mirrored cardstock is just as much of a pain in the butt as regular mirrors are, as it had to be cleaned many times and throughout and after, because it does like lint and everything that mirrors do. This does too. Now you could stick the dowel rods right to the cardstock and that would work just fine. I, on the other hand, wanted it to stick out a little more, so I was making these pretend little brackets to hold it up. I first put some hot glue on the back of the entire thing to make sure when I cut it, it doesn't fray, since these pieces are so little. And I did four, 2 for each. And as well, when I stuck them on, it felt like I could do this first to get my bearing on making them straight, instead of taking that one whole chance to glue it right to the cardstock and getting it crooked. This is called a little miter box. They do have these at Michael's. Very simple to use. You get your measurement of the corner and you measure that on the part that's pointy on the top right. You just get your little saw in there, cut your 45-degree angle by putting the saw in between the two things, and it cuts evenly. Flip it around to get your other side, and they perfectly match up pretty much every single time. Again, getting it on there straight was important too. So this is just the little idea I came up with the pretend brackets made out of the same stuff. Here you can see my brackets are up, and I did all the measuring and precision with that with my ruler to make sure I got those dead on. So by the time I put on the ballet bar itself, it should be very easy to put a couple little dabs of hot glue and set it right in there and quickly measure it before it dries, because you know hot glue sometimes dries too slow for you and other times too fast for you. I did use a little puffy paint here and there just to make it look a little not so like a cut off piece of trim, and I think now is about the time to put in that ballet bar. So again, I just stuck a little bit of hot glue on each and did it really fast and got lucky the first time, thankfully. So you can't see the hot glue, which is wonderful, and the puffy paint is drying. I'm very happy with this ballet bar. It doesn't stick out a lot, but it sticks out just enough to make me pretty happy about this situation. I also took some puffy paint and put it in this corner where the cork board met the mirror, because it seemed to me that would represent how you usually got very solid things holding up mirrors, and I just didn't like the way the corner looked, so I did that because I liked it. Now I have some doodads to make it look like mirrors and stuff for the corkboard. Enjoy these pictures. Hope you enjoyed this tour and surprise room. See you next time, for real now.